I don't want to say definitively one way or another because we don't know, but like if the Supra's bad, I think the Earth will fly into the sun.
Yeah.
Hey, Raph.
Yes, Patrick. Hello.
Did you know that Toyota's going to fuck up the new Supra?
They are not. How dare you say that?
Hi, welcome to the new episode of Carguments. My name is Patrick George, and I run Jalopnik. This is my beautiful car son, Raphael Orlove, and today we're talking about the new Toyota Supra that's set to debut at the Geneva Motor Show in March. I think Toyota's gonna fuck it up. Raphael thinks everything's gonna be fine.
I think it's gonna be fine, man.
This is a really big deal because the Supra is one of our generation's most cherished, beloved, important cars. It's sacred to us. It's a legendary name, so if it's coming back, it has to like live up to that crazy legend that it has.
Yeah. If the Toyota Supra comes back after all of this work and it's bad, come on.
Yeah. I don't want to say definitively one way or another because we don't know, but like if the Supra's bad, I think the Earth will fly into the sun.
Yeah.
I mean, there's already no God. We know that.
Yeah.
If the Supra's bad, it proves that.
Definitely.
It definitely solidly proves that
100%.
definitively forever.
Yeah.
And there's just no reason to think that anyone's out there to save us.
For every bad Supra that Toyota would roll off the assembly line, each person who sees it will turn into a pillar of salt.
That's horrible. I think that's in the Bible, actually.
Yeah, that's actually written down.
That's in the fucking Bible.
Supra
I remember
and-
that from Sunday school.
Supra and Gomorrah.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, man, wow. Horrible.
Why do you think Toyota is going to screw up the Supra?
Because there are so many more reasons why they could fuck it up than why it could go right. We have been waiting for a new Supra for 20 years now. Yes,
It's been a long time since you had a Supra.
entire car magazine empires have risen and fallen based on the renders for the new
Yes.
Supra. I remember them when I was in high school.
Yeah.
There's no way it can possibly live up to all of that hype and expectation and build up it's had since then.
What is the spec supposed to be?
Glad you asked, Raph. You see, this project has been in development since, approximately
100 years.
1,000 years ago, and it's a joint venture with BMW, and therefore it's a BMW platform that's shared with the new Z4 Roadster. Yes, and as such, it's supposed to have a 3-liter inline-6 twin turbo. From what we hear, inline-6, yes.
Really?
Really? Yes.
I thought it was going to be a V.
It's a BMW, man. They don't do that V6 shit. They don't play with that. Oh, you have to change your notes now?
Change my notes.
All the more reason that I'm
Jeez.
right. Well, it's supposedly an inline-6, and from what we've heard, it's supposed to have, wait for it, 340 horsepower.
Whoa.
That's not that much anymore. That was a lot, like in the 90s. It's not. It's just kind of okay today. Like, I mean, it's fine. I think the Kia Stinger we just had more than that.
So
that was a Kia Stinger.
So you think that the new one, the spec isn't that great?
From what we've heard so far, and nothing is official, nothing's been confirmed, nothing's been released yet, but everything we've heard, it points that way. And yes, I do think it's kind of underwhelming.
You demand more.
I demand more. I demand more power. I'm sad to say I've never driven a Mark IV Supra, but I rode in one once.
Is that right?
It was tuned to about 18 billion horsepower.
That's a good number.
When it hit the quarter mile, everyone in town passed out from the air pressure change.
The driver lifted off the gas, and the wastegate pressure.
Yeah, just changed like a vacuum effect.
Yeah.
Everyone passed out except for me. I got a vision of the future, and I saw how I'm going to die someday. And I can't change it because the future can't be changed. It was horrible. That's what you get from the Supra. That's how cool that car is. That's what the new one has to live up to. That's why the 2J is such a great engine. One of the many reasons. It could just take billions and billions of horsepower and that iron block and just never die. And why do you think that it can do that?
Okay, so I have a very simple A equals B logic argument here.
Okay, so you're using math. You're going at this with math. Okay.
Well, I actually used math and then I lost.
Okay.
Because I made a chart.
Yeah. This is the first time I've ever out-mathed anyone then.
So I made a comparison between the new Supra and the old Supra. Excuse me, this is my camera. I made a comparison between the new Supra and the old Supra. And I hate to say, I thought that the new Supra would win because it's a new car, but in fact it is lost. See, both cars are made from God's tears.
Yes.
And they ride on angel wings.
Yes.
They actually both have straight sixes. I thought the new one was a V6.
Yeah, so we hear.
The old one had a manual. I don't think the new one will.
That's another point of contention. The new car, from what we hear, does not have a manual gearbox.
Which is sad.
It's very sad.
It makes me sad.
Deeply depressing.
If I say those words, I feel sadder.
Yeah.
However, can you buy the old one unmodified, not from a guy named Steve who never met an ECU he shouldn't tune?
Yeah.
No. That's a win on the new Supra.
Mm-hmm.
However, that's still enough to lose. My main argument is thus.
Yeah.
The new Supra is actually more like the old Supra than you may imagine.
Ah, tell me.
And the old Supra being good, if the new Supra is like the old Supra, then the new Supra must be good, no matter what we think of it. Supras have always been kind of heavier than you think, a little bit more luxurious, a little bit more high-tech, maybe well-designed, but trading refinement in favor of outright performance.
Yeah.
If you look back in the 80s, you know, or even into the late 80s and early 90s, a Mark II or a Mark III Supra, well, the Mark III, excuse me.
Yeah.
Independent suspension all the way around.
It was sort of the gentlemanly choice over like a 280ZX or 300ZX.
You're going to get more power or more outright performance out of something like a Mustang. But obviously, it's like a different kind of person. And the Supra actually has always sort of been that way. It started out as sort of a more luxury GT version to the Celica, which was supposed to be more of a sort of Mustang-y, kind of a small Japanese Mustang thing. And the Supra was always just a little bit more sort of big and plush. You know, it had good bones, which is sort of why it was fun to see when they would take racing versions of it in like the touring car series in Japan. But like it wasn't actually that hot. And the new one is actually, if you look at it, just like the old one. It's like kind of well designed, but you know, maybe it's a little bit heavier, maybe it's a little bit less horsepower outright from the factory, but it's actually pretty much the same spec as the old one. So if the old one was good, it's our definition of goodness that is off.
I think I get your point. It's like we have this idea of the Supra in mind based on like 2 decades of like insane tuner cars.
Exactly.
But when you go back to like what the Supra was stock, like is this like fast Luxo cruiser.
Exactly. Look at old reviews of like even a Mark IV Supra when it came out. People are like, it's kind of expensive. I don't really get it. Like a Corvette would be a better buy. Like that has not changed. Like 2018 is still the same car. And the other thing I'll point out is tuning is easier than ever. Like all of this ECU stuff, like you can stick a Motec on that thing and probably like up the boost and you'd be fine.
And my criticism initially was I felt like we would go the BRZ route with this car where it's like the enthusiasts are going to be like for years like, oh, we want a more powerful version, we want more power. And the execs will be like, oh, you know, well, we're looking at the market. We're examining everything. And then it never happens. Like 8 years later, like I've seen this movie and it just never happens. The world is bleak, Raph. It's full of darkness.
It's true.
We need hope. We need light. We need a hero who can make us want to get up and get out of bed every morning. And I think the Supra needs to be that car right from the gate, not like, oh, after, you know, you spend $20,000 on tuning and parts.
Damn.
I don't know.
Well, I look forward to the actual Supra coming out and being simultaneously thrilled and disappointed in equal measure, laughing and crying at the same time.
I tell you what, if it has a manual, I'm gonna.
It's not gonna
it's like fine.
It's
fine.
not gonna happen.
I'll be happy with that. It's not gonna happen.
No, it's definitely not
Damn
gonna happen. They're just gonna tease it along and we'll be sad forever.
Yeah. So who won this argument? This is easier when Balaban's here because he has the worst takes, but he's on
They're
vacation.
so bad.
His takes are unbelievably bad. When does he get back from vacation? I can't wait to hear his bad takes.
I hope never.
Yeah, let's hope never.
Have you noticed how like nice the office is lately?
It's been so quiet lately with him gone. It's been great.
So pleasant.
Well, thanks for watching Carguments. If you feel strongly about this episode, please write down comments on a sheet of paper and shove them up your... Like and subscribe, please. And check out jalopnik.com.